Well, so there's what it looks like at night. I gotta say, I am very happy with it. Shuts off when the doors are closed. Comes on when you open it. I think it looks really cool. Well, dang. It's been a little bit since I posted a video. Got a new house, new garage that's obviously messy. New dog. What's up, dog? And some new wheels on the Fox body. I'm digging them. A lot better than what I had before. The garage has got a really weird shape, but it's about 1,200 square feet, and you can fit 3 cars this way, another car back there, which that will more than likely be my shop with a lift at some point once we get all the stuff finished, moved into our house. So I've got some parts I'm waiting on for the Mustang, and while I'm doing that, I've had these for a little bit, and I want to get them installed. So I'm going to work on that today. I think this will be kind of a fun project. Show some of you guys some electrical on how to do this. So what these are is a light projector kit. As you probably saw in the video thumbnail, they're pretty neat. So these guys are supposed to go, you can put them anywhere you want to, but they're supposed to go on the on your door-ish area. So what I'm gonna do here is just kind of touch the wires, test them out. So I'm actually wanting to install these on the bottom side of my door. See if I can get you guys a good view of what they look like on the ground. So that's the idea, and that shines up on the ground, and it'll be on the bottom side of the door. So it'll be pretty neat. So I'm thinking that I want them on the bottom side of the door, kind of up under here. Thinking that's a really good spot for them right there. That kind of flat spot. So what I'm gonna do is get the door panel off. So we get the door panel off. It's a few screws here, a few screws here, a few there, and then some bolts holding this in, some clips. So we'll pop the door panel off, and then what I'm gonna do is see what's over in this corner. I don't want to drill into anything that's there. And the kit comes with a drill bit, which is pretty handy. So the kit comes with a drill bit. Looks like the dog likes the Mustang. Hi, Dixie. What are you doing back there? You're just checking things out? Oh, careful. How you doing, Poochie? So anyway, the kit comes with a drill bit, which is nice. Then you don't have to go searching for one. So once I make sure that there's nothing underneath here, I'll use this. We'll pop a little hole in there, and then it's got some set screws to hold it in place, and then we'll wire it in. So that it works when the doors are open. There's the drill bit there. So my plan on wiring that in there is there is a door switch here. So that grounds to the chassis. So I'm gonna run the power wires will come off of probably like the window switch or something. And whenever there's power on at the car, I'll have power to it, and then it'll ground itself through this switch here. So anytime the door's open, that will trigger the light to come on. So anytime you open one of the doors, that light will shine down onto the ground. So I got all the screws out, door panel's ready to pop off. So down in here, we will try to look and see. Yeah, so that spot right there is where I want these to be at. So we'll be good. We won't have anything in the way. We'll be able to just drill our hole, pop the light in, and the wiring will just run along that bottom channel, right down on the bottom of there. We'll run the wire in there and should be fine. And the only challenging part is that we're going to have to go through this with the ground wire, which is not that big of a deal. We'll just have to fish the wire through there to tie into this switch. No big deal. Since I would like these to line up similarly on both sides, I am going to measure. I'm going to measure from the edge of the door, and then I'm going to measure in this way. So I think just to make it easy, we'll do 6 inches. So go 6 inches from the edge of the door. Make a little dot so we know about where we're at. And then we'll go from here. An inch looks like it'll be pretty good. So we'll go right there. My dot's right where I want it to be. So that's where I'll drill my hole. So we'll go 6 inches in and then an inch out. That bit is definitely not the sharpest thing in the world. All right, so I'm going to get a different bit to start the hole. Well, I'm not surprised, but that bit is not the sharpest. So we're going to get another bit to drill our pilot hole with. There we go. Shouldn't take much. And we'll make sure that our hole is the right size. So we'll get this guy back in there. There we go. Now I'll give you a tip here. If you drill it with this on it, as soon as it goes through, these teeth will catch and it can break that bit off. So now we got that on there. We'll drill our hole. See how good of a bit this is. We're gonna do it on slow speed. There we go. So this bit's actually pretty good, but that one is not. Nice hole, no burrs. It's not terrible. We're gonna grab this guy. And there's two little lock nuts on the back side of that. So I'm going to take those off. We'll put our wires through. Wow, so might need to clean our hole out a little bit. Yeah, so my concerns with just ramming that in there is that you'll booger up the threads here and then it won't go in as easy. So we'll just have to clean the threads up a little bit. So that'll go in there easier. There's a chance it could thread in, but still a chance because this is a cheaply made metal that you could booger those threads up, and I don't want to do that. So I've got a whole case of these guys here. These are made for stuff like this. So I'm gonna use him, clean it up a little bit. So now I got that hole to the right size. Goes right in. And then these two lock nuts will go on the inside. Oh. So these two will go on the inside. to hold that in place. The one thing that I want to make sure of is that I get it oriented right. I don't want it to be upside down. So when I open the door, I want the symbol to be showing so that it looks the same as the other one. So I'll probably get some power run over to this just to test it, and then I'll lock it in place and go from there. So I ran the wires out here because there is a grommet here, and then I'll just run them along with the rest of these and then out the door. It also keeps it away from the window. But I'm going to test for voltage now. What I'm doing is finding a good ground, somewhere there used to be a bolt, and then you test and see where you've got power that we can jump off of. And I found that this wire right here is my constant power for the door locks. So I'm just going to jump off of that circuit. It'll be good. So we'll cut this wire here, and into it we will splice. They do make splices that you don't have to cut into the wire with if you're nervous about that. I don't really care. It is what it is. So we're going to splice into that wire with our ground, or power, I'm sorry. What am I talking about? Alright, so we'll have that wire come up there. That'll be our power. So that's going to tie into here. Let's put a butt splice on it. Crimp it down. Connect the other side. Crimp it down. Okay, and then to test this, all we got to do is find a good ground to touch this to. There we go. And then all you do is turn this so that it lines up where you want it to. Go from there. So that's probably how I'm going to line mine up. Right like that. Then all I'm going to do is take these two lock nuts, and I will have to cut this out because I'm a dum-dum. So I have to redo my splice there. But I'll put these on. There we go. I'll have to make sure that it's where we want it again. Close, turn it a little bit more. There we go, I'm happy with that. So now we'll finish up the wiring. So that is what it's going to look like anytime I open my door. And you can adjust that symbol. I don't know if I like it that way. I might spin it around and go the other way with it, but for now, I think I'll keep it just like that. I like it. It'd be really cool. It'll look a lot better in the dark. So now I'm going to finish getting the wiring done. So I've got my 12 volts connected here, and then I'll run my ground up to the door switch that I talked about. So the easiest thing I have found when you are trying to fish the wires through that grommet in the door, I've got an Allen wrench with a T-handle on it, and if you find the grommet on the inside here and slowly just push it through, the challenging part is on this side of it, trying to grab that wire once it comes through. You can see the grommet barely right in there. So you've got to be able to reach in there and grab it, and for that I have a really long set of needle nose that can fit in there and grab the wire once it comes through, and then I'll pull it out and just fish it right through this same area and along here. So yeah, it's not the most fun that you'll ever have in your life, that I can guarantee you, but it's really not that bad. So we'll find where the grommet is. Bring it up in here. There we go. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well. So I can see just there's the wire on the end of it. Can't hold the camera and do that at the same time, so. There we go. So that's our wire. There you go. You can see how I just pulled it out. And then there's still tape on there, so what's going to happen is there's that wire there. This one right there that's still hanging out. What will happen is I'll hang on to this one here. And then when I pull it out, it'll leave that other one in there, and the tape hopefully will break or something. We'll see. Now, time to pull my Allen wrench out. There we go. And so my wire is not entirely long enough to get back over to here where that negative side is. So I'll have to splice another little piece in here, but I'm not worried about that. Mainly I was just trying to get it through the grommet there. So the next step is going to be get into this kick panel. And we have to find the wires that are going to this guy. So those ones look like they're right in there. And they go down. So you should be able to grab them right down in here. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we found those 3 wires. Now, the trick is going to be testing them. So there is a little nut on the outside here. And I'm going to take that off so that I can pull it through and test it to see which one we're going to need to hook onto. Huh, there we go. So that comes out right like that. That's pretty easy. So what I need to do is test these wires to find out which one does what. So right now, I'm looking at the switch that I got taken apart. There's the 3 contacts there. You can see when the door is in, and then when it's out. So there's a piece of metal right in there. And then when the switch closes, it makes contact. So I need to find out is if these are all grounds. All right, so it looks like these are all 12 volts. And then when the door closes, it gives it power. So we'll just have to switch up how we wired our switch in a little bit. So we'll wire this into a ground, one that's a common ground here. So we'll probably just put it to a bolt or something here. And then we'll run the power wire that'll go up to this guy here, and that'll be connected to one of these wires on the back side of this switch over here that I'm testing. So you can see that those all get 12 volts when the switch is closed. There we go, nothing, and then the door's open. Yep. So that's easy. So what we'll do here is right here on these switches, the green wires are hot all the time. So we'll just tie into either the red or the red or the blue one there and call it good with that. Either one of them will do the same thing, so it's not really a big deal. Good deal. So now we just need to fix the wiring over here a little bit. So this is our wiring for our switch. And we're going to put a different butt splice on here. So, oopsie, didn't need to cut into that one because we're going to get power from our switch. No big deal. And then inside here, this is our wire that we ran. And then these 3 wires back here go to our door switch that we just tested. We know the green is our hot all the time, and the red one is our hot when the door opens. So what we're gonna do is run this wire down in here, a little more inconspicuous. And what we're gonna do is tie into the positive as it goes out. So we'll tie into this red one, and that will be our power when the door is open. Tie in this guy here. We'll have to strip this one back a little bit so that we can butt splice it onto here. There's that. And that. So there's our power going to the going out here to our light. Now with the door open, all we should have to do is hit the ground signal. Door switch. There we go. Closed, open, closed, open. So here's the finish up on the ground. Like I said, I'm just going to throw a little self-tapper right here. The problem with that, though, is that this wire is really thin, and I don't have any ring terminals that are of the right gauge. So what I'm going to do is trim this back a little bit. I don't even have wire strippers that are small enough to strip all this. So, all right, strip back a little bit. I'm going to wrap it around a thicker piece of wire. Put it in this ring terminal. Crimp it on really good, and we should be home free. Not my favorite way to do it, but in a pinch, you can make it work. You can see that'll work fine. And then this is just a ground wire, so no big deal here. Everything on the car is a ground, so let's cut the excess off. Get it right up about like that. And a tip for you guys that don't know much about electrical, it's always a good idea to grind a little bit of paint away so that your ground terminal has something to bite to. And I've got some self-tapping pan head screws. I'll throw one of those in and we'll be done. There we go. Now we'll check it out and make sure it works. There we go. See right there? That's where we hit the switch. As soon as the door opens enough, the light will be on. You can even tell where the switch comes on. Right there. There we go. That turned out really good. So now I got to put the kick panel back on, I got to put the door panel back on, and do the other side, and we will be home free. I'm going to do a time lapse, and then we'll test it out at night. Well, I forgot to record it, but I had to use this guy because the ECU and everything's up under here. I had to use that guy to push a wire through the grommet that's right in there. So I had to actually pull the boot out here, pull it out here, and then shove it through, and then grab it on the other side and feed it into this kick panel. So that worked there. I just got to tie the power into the power for it, ground it here, and we'll be home free. Well, so there's what it looks like at night. I gotta say, I am very happy with it. Shuts off when the doors are closed. Comes on when you open it. I think it looks really cool. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys thought that was kind of cool. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later.